Hey folks, ACTCG here, and in today's video I'm going to be covering one of my favorite upcoming leaders from the OP11 set for the One Piece card game in the form of Blue Yellow Nami. Now, Blue Yellow Nami has been a recurring topic recently because it recently just became second in a final over in Japan. Quite a controversial second because a lot of people think that it should have been a guaranteed first place. Some misplays around the overtime ruling, but what it did for me is highlight some of the different routes that you can take with this deck. And I think one of the things that excites me the most for this deck is that, right? There's so many different angles. Not playing in the OP11 format myself yet, when I first looked at what this deck was, I had so many ideas running at me straight away. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cover a list that I've threw together after having a little look at the finals list, some of my own ideas that I'd initially wanted to throw in immediately, and what I go into OP11 with without having any experience. And then also I'll highlight the list of the person who came second in the IG finals. This is their list here. You can see exceptionally different, yeah, we'll go over those. So first off, I'm just going to start with my own list, which is this one here. There we go. I've just put it together. So quickly flying through, I'm only going to cover what Nami does once. If you don't know what it does, the top skill is once per turn. You may activate this effect when a life card leaves any area. It has to just be in your turn though, but you draw one card if you have 7 or less cards in your hand. So it's good that it's any area, because if you use a card effect like Hiyori or a way to self-damage yourself, you get to draw a card from your leader effect. But also, if you're being offensive to your opponent, if you are using cards that trash life like Eustace Kid, or you're just attacking them, you'll also get to draw a card if you've got 7 in life. And then the bottom effect is Don X1. On an opponent's attack, once per turn, you may trash one card from your hand, and then for the full turn, your leader will get plus 2000 power, which is awesome. And when it first came out, I was like, this leader is broken. Just when you read that, I was like, that's a nuts ability. But it's good, but it's not all that. Honestly, you have to discard a card for it. It's like using a 2K in a lot of circumstances. The one thing that it is good for is that it's for the turn. So if your opponent's gone wide, it can really slow down the game. And I think it has a lot of utility. So this is my list that I put together. One of the reasons I loved the Nami is because I get to run this Nojiko. It's a 2-cost on play, and you can bounce one of your opponent's 5-cost LS characters back to their hand. I think this is nuts, and I always wanted to find a way to like run a removal-based blue Nami variant, but it was too distant away from what my game plan would want to be with that leader effect. But this is a vessel to be able to run that. I've got 2 4-cost pudding here. The other list that we'll look at runs 4 of them, so I think it's going to be really important in OP11, so that number might go up in the future. I've put in 4 Jozu. So my idea behind this deck is that I'm basically going to like flood little weenies out and have this like nice mid-range, smash you in the face, get loads of value like tempo deck. And Jozu just says I can bounce one of my cards back to my hand and also set my opponent behind, which is kind of everything that I'm looking to do with this deck. One of the like nice cards that comes out in OP11, which I think is being overlooked a little bit, is this really nice Carrot. It is a Minx character, but it's blue, so sorry Carrot leader players, but it has a really nice on-playability of look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You can place them at the top or the bottom of your deck in any order, and then on the bottom effect is on opponent's attack, you may trash this character and give up to one of your leaders plus 1000 power during this battle. So I like it because it's like a pseudo 1-cost Perona, but then also has that bottom ability which says I have some versatility to give you some defense. It's like not a draw, but a way to gain a little bit of a power for a cheeky 5k swing, or if your opponent swings 7 at you and you use leader effect, you can just use the Carrot. Now, the reason that this is really nice is because I am also running the Ivankov package, and being able to turn 1 play Carrot, stack the top 3 cards of your deck, and then turn 2 play Ivankov immediately into any of the amazing 2 costs that we're running here. I think how many have we got here? 10? No, even more. 16 2 costs in my list is super nice. So having that, I didn't want to run the Perona because I liked the idea of having this new card that also allows me to basically be Perona, but also give me something else. So this might change. We don't know. I'm running 4 of the new OP11 Nami that come out. It's a 5/6 blocker, great stat line. We've seen that consistently always. And then on play, if your leader is multicolored, you can draw 3, and then you can play 2 cards from your hand on the top or the bottom of your deck. This is again just another vessel for us to be able to like use the Ivankov here. In some of your later turns, you can do like a Nami and then going into some of your different Don turns, you can then draw for turn and then play Ivankov to get additional cards here, which is super nice. Some of the top end that we're running, aside from the Jozu, is 2 of this new 8-cost Luffy. At first, I wasn't a really big fan, but I'm definitely growing to like it a little bit more. It's got a lot of aggression. Being able to just smash it out immediately is nice, and also it gives a Don to your leader, so you can have that Don on leader to ensure that you're able to use that effect to discard and gain 2k. If you don't know what it does, it just says rush generically, which is great. And when attacking, you can trash a card from your hand, return up to 1 4-cost or less character to the owner's hand. So this can be mine or my opponent's. A lot of the time, it's been my own because again, I'm flooding the board with these little weenies. And then you give a rested Don to a leader or a character. So it's nice, good tempo. Speaking of tempo, we've got 7-cost Doflamingo here. I'm running 2 of these. This might switch to this Luffy, but the reason that I like this Doflamingo is 1, I can either bounce my own cards back to my hand if it's a lot of the time it's a 2k, but also I can bounce my opponent's 7-cost or less character to the hand. And I really liked the versatility of this against the green purple Luffy, just being able to return a Sanji Pudding back to their hand that's under stage is nice. Code Ivankov, I have an abundance of 2-cost characters in my deck. I've built it specifically towards the Ivankov, really, but it also has that 1 attacking ability of if your hand has 6 cards or less, draw a card. And the reason I'm doing this is because even though we draw a lot of cards because of the Nami leader ability, this is just an additional way to make sure that I'm just going tempo, 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 tempo. Like, play all these weenies out, draw a card from Nami, draw a card from Ivankov. So it's super nice. This is like just another 2-cost that I'm putting, the 2-cost blue Charlotte Pudding. You don't need to run this. I think this may be overkill on my part, but it's just another target for the Ivankov that also says gain value. So it just has the ability of you can return this character to your hand, activate main. So the idea would be like stack with Carrot. You don't see any of your other 2-costs, so you just want like a nice tempo play Ivankov to play out the pudding, and then Ivankov will pretty much just be saying on play, draw a 2k from your deck, which is pretty nice. It's okay. Yeah, just trying it out. This teach, I completely stole this idea 100% just from that topping list. I think it's great, and I think it fits even greater with what I'm trying to achieve with the Ivankov build. It's a 2-cost, but also it allows me to gain Don. So I can not only stack the top of my deck for my Ivankov, but I can gain Don on my leader, which allows me to be offensive, but also have that extra Don needed for that when opponent's attacking ability. 2-cost Yuri, don't need to go into that. It's 2-cost. Again, fits with Ivankov, but also I self-damage, place cards on top of deck, do whatever I want, and then, you know, draw a card from Nami ability. Eustace Kid is probably our biggest boss monster. On play, trash your opponent's life is all I care about, but also if everyone has 2 or less life, you can draw and discard 1 from your hand at the end of your opponent at the end of your turn. Helps you filter, but it's that trash life and big body that is important. This is a new 2-cost 2k from OP11, and it's another way for us to be able to deal with 5-cost or lower characters. On play, trash a card from add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand, which is super nice, and then you can KO up to one of your opponent's 5-cost or less characters. So just another way to deal with things. Again, pretty nice tempo with the Ivankov into Zeus plays. And then I do have some events here in the form of Gum Gum Red Rock, just a standalone strong card. Super good. We can do like some really nice like weird plays where we can, if we have like the teach out, we can Red Rock, teach effect, put a card on top, give 2 Don to leader, and then a Ivankov to bring out whatever teach played, and then deal with something else as well, which is nice. Leave 1 open potentially for our next card, which is Slave Arrow. So this is a card from OP07, so back in the day, but I think it fits really well with what I'm trying to again achieve with this list. So you may return one of your 2-cost or higher characters to its owner's hand, and give up to one of your leaders or characters 4,000 power during this battle. I have a lot of cards here that say like on play do something cool, and then they just sit there. This card says for 1 Don you get to add that back to your hand, but also you stop an attack. It's pretty nice. Like it's a nice way for us to again be able to like just loop some of these like nicer 2-costs. And sometimes if like I've attacked with my Ivankov to get my draw and it's just sat there like potentially at risk, I could potentially save Slave Arrow to bounce it back. I could Slave Arrow to bounce a lot of the things here back. So that's the list. long breakdown. But yeah, let's get into some games with this one, and then we'll go over the other list. Alrighty, so we've got our first game here in the form of the Boogie Man or Boogie Woman of the format in the form of Monkey D. Luffy. They have chose to go second here, and yeah, this is a strong deck to play against round one. So this is good, but I'm going to mully it because I'm just looking for some of those early plays. I don't see any of them. So we're just going to attach our Don for no reason at all, really. They're not going to... Actually, in the rules, you're not allowed to attack turn one, which is interesting, but they have no way to attack turn one either way. But this is okay. Like, it's not too bad. We might have to do, like, a blind Ivankov. I kind of want to get the Ivankov down just for a body. And I don't think I'm going to need to, like, leader effect next turn. Do I want the Ivankov here? Now, I could do some like nice plays with the Nami on 7 is all I'm thinking. So maybe I just go 8 at lead, try and pressure. I think I'd just do that. And I think I just attach all and swing 8 here. Try and get a little bit of pressure on. They do have ways to heal in the form of like 9-cost Lin. I get to draw here from my Nami, which is super nice. And then I can pass it over. So we did draw Marshall the Teach from this. So we can actually next turn do some really cool combos now, where we could go play 2-cost Teach. Sorry, they attacked me for 6. I think I'm just going to take this. Or we could Hiyori. Or Luffy. Maybe I'll just use action, get rid of Luffy. And then that keeps us to 7 for the turn. I don't remember if they run Pudding, but I was just a bit concerned that they might. So now we've got a really nice combo. So we can do Teach, use the Teach effect to send the Zeus to the top of the deck, giving to the leader. And then now we can do, should we do 7 first, just in case of a trigger? Wait, no, because we might have to draw from Nami. So let's do this first. We'll deploy the Zeus, use the use, and we'll KO this, and then we get to draw again from the Nami here, and then we can go 7. Use the use. Those were good wording there, my boy. They give us a 2-cost in the form of Usahachi. But yeah, we've got nice combos. We see the Gear 2 here, which just says ramp. Like, now their leader ability is going to be active, and they're going to start playing out 9 costs, which are scary. Very scary. They just swing 7 at us, and we're going to take that because we don't really want to give them 2 cards here. We get a Zeus, which is quite nice because we could deal with that Zorojuro, but I don't think we need to deal with the Zorojuro is the problem. I think maybe we might just be doing like a Nami, just a Nami maybe. So we can draw a card from Ivankov if we do. Oh, no, we can't actually. This is quite awkward. All right, so let's just focus on drawing from Nami then. Let's do the Nami deploy. One of these would have been great then to be able to bounce back, but it is what it is. And then we'll start placing on top here. So we put 2 on top. I don't think next turn we're going to want to go into Ivankov, honestly. So we can just do this back and this back to keep counter in our hand. Now we've got 8 in hand, so we can do Teach effect. We will put on top of our deck this here Jozu and give 2 to lead. He's a 6k base, so if we play Carrot, we can keep these on top, and then now swing this and draw a card, which is pretty cool. There we go. And it's pretty cool because now we can use like the Carrot effect to be able to gain 1k power, which is pretty nice, and we'll draw an extra card from the Nami here as well from dealing that damage, and we'll pass. Now, the scary thing about this deck is they're going to start now, like, massively churning out big bodies. They have the 9-cost Sanji that goes into the 9-cost Lin at all the time, which would then be able to remove my Nami, and they heal. And because they got the second, I haven't been able to get any big bodies out early. I haven't seen Jozu. But they use leader ability, add Gum Gum Giant to their hand, and play Sanji, and miss. That's interesting. The attack of Vankov here, I'm not going to protect that. I'm okay with this, definitely. But that's really interesting, because now they're in a quite a precarious situation. I fully expected that to be a double body. Maybe they messed up the stack. Or maybe they just didn't. It's hard not to see a target for this, though. Okay. Hey, swings and roundabouts, I guess. The other utility for the Charlotte Pudding, by the way, and it's just come to my mind, was that, like, because you need 7 cards for Nami to be able to draw a card from its top effect, you can play this out if you were, for example, on 8, swing, and then use the Nami abilities to bounce it back to hand, and you get to draw one. So in this situation, I'm just going to play out Kid. And I'm going to use its effect to trash opponent's life. It was a gear 2, which is fine. I'm going to put this on lead, and then I don't think it matters too much because they had the Gum Gum Giant, but it would be nice to force them to have to use it. So I'm just going to use the Teach here to send the Kid to the top of the deck and give 2 more to my leader, and then I can attack them for 8 with Nami. I kind of want to keep my blocker up here just to stop them from swinging into my Eustace Kid. I think this is going to be like critical that I have something to fend them off with. I do have an abundance of counter in hand though, so it's a 6 more valuable. We did see them use a Gum Gum Giant there. We knew they had one from their leader ability either way. They're still going to go to 10 anyway. Is a 6 good? I think a 6 is probably fine, honestly. Let's do a 6. Potentially force them to, like, not force them to, but they might swing straight into it with the Sanji here. We'll use auto procs on the sim anyway, but we do not need another Kid here, so we'll just pass. We do have a Jozu if they play out their own Nami, for example. I know they run it. At the start of the turn, they use the Monkey D. Luffy ability to add a 2k Franosuke to their hand, and this is why this leader is just oppressive, right? Is it's like they get to not only draw 2 cards per turn, but then they get to stack. So then cards like Sanji get to proc and other nasty beasts. Yeah, I think attacking with the Nami was probably correct here. Just in case, again, if they play the 9-cost Big Mom and force me to heal the Nami, that's something I've got to be, again, aware of here. We've got 4 2Ks in our hand and 2... Ooh, okay. So they attack into the Nami. My instinct is to try and protect it, just to keep pressure up on them, because I'm afraid they're, again, just going to go, like, Sanji something. I'm not going to use either ability, but I think I am going to just give 2 2Ks here. I may rue that decision in the future. Unfortunately, this says only leader, and so is this, so cancel on that. And then no block, and I will give you this hero Vankov. Ugh, another Sanji, but into Nami here, so at least we can do like the Jozu play like I mentioned then. Kind of awkward that they haven't attacked lead. I think this carrot's going to have to go for the Jozu, which is a bit unfortunate here. This board's a little bit scary. They stack to the top of their deck with the Nami, and they've left 1 open, I'm assuming, for the goods. For the good of all man. Okay, so they've stacked, and they have the Nami. Now, if I can deal with this, do I then just go for it? We know they have Franosuke, and the chances of them not having another giant are quite low. Difficult. I think I just bounce this, and then, like... I kind of want to bottom deck one of these, though. Like... just being able to do this, get a Zeus back, but then I'm on 1 life, and it's a little bit risky. I'll have 4K counter, lead ability, and a Nami. That's probably good. Okay, I have decided. I'm going to Zeus because we'll get the draw as well. Kill a Nami and draw here. We get another Nojiko here, which is nice. And then I am going to Red Rock the Sanji away. I'm going to make sure I put it down on Nami. I can swing 10-8, I think is my numbers I'm going for here. My numbers. I forgot how to use my words. Ooh, maybe they didn't have the goods. Okay. That wasn't necessary, but okay. Okay, and then we'll put this on top of deck and give 2 done to lead. Yeah, I think they just accidentally activated. Oh no, yeah, they killed themselves accidentally. But yeah, sure. I think honestly, like they were gonna draw from this. We were in a quite a strong position. Like, we weren't losing that turn for sure. But they may have got another giant, and there's so much that can go on with that. But yeah, that's game 1, and that's my deck. I'm gonna switch over now to the other one. We'll play one game with that list. Be right back. Alrighty, so here is the list from the person who came second in the Aichi finals in Japan. Definitely a different approach, and it's, I think, specifically for that matchup that we've just played that they're running some of the cards they're running. Some of the difference are they're not trying some funky wackiness with that 3 cost, but they are running the 4 cost Cavendish, just a solid blue card that says draw cards, basically. In the 11 format, I don't think removal is exceptionally prevalent. Lucci is still around, but like as we just saw, that deck that we're playing against, the Luffy, doesn't particularly have too much early removal. So getting a Cavendish out that just allows you to draw some cards is nice, and a deck that like can gain and go through resources a lot. They are also running this Odin that comes out in the Whitebeard blue starter deck. We in the West aren't getting this until September, I think. There's a big delay on that one, which makes me a bit sad because I'd like to be able to hit the ground running with this. But it's actually a really nice card and works quite well with like what Nami's trying to achieve here. So it has the ability of, if it would be removed from the field, you can trash 2 cards from your hand instead. Because we draw so much from the Nami ability, this just means that we can get rid of some of the chaff that like builds up, and then also a bottom effect of you may rest 3 Don and return one of your other characters to your hand and set this card as active. Again, we have cards like Nojiko, the Hiyori in this list, still running the Zeus, also running the Teach here. It was their idea that I copied, of course, like I mentioned. But also that's just like value for you. So not only do you like get to bounce back a card to your hand that you can use for other utility, but you also get to restand, which is great offensive ability again. They're running the Vista. This is just the same as this 1 cost Trafalgar Law, but they've done this 3-1 split for some reason. Maybe they just like the difference in arts, but yeah, 4 1 cost blockers here. I think again it's just to stop some of that early aggression that decks can throw at you, and stop you from just like being able to develop to your board, get that tempo that I just mentioned in the last matchup. They're running the 2 Satoris, just a good yellow generic 2K that also potentially has a way to get out. Now, if you watch these videos here, I'll put them on screen, these, there are a bunch of YouTubers going through some of the games, but in all of the games that we've seen, I think there were 3 separate games for the Nami. We consistently saw them play Hiyori early into placing Kikunojo on top of their life and then drawing a card from their Nami. So this is a little combo that they're going through consistently, and especially in those videos, we saw a lot of the opponent swinging into life early once they'd done this, and then being able to proc out a Kikunojo super early, which was great. Like, great value, great tempo again. It's a good card. So being able to get it out is really, really nice. For Eustace Kid, and then the only other card that they're running is this new OP11 Gum Gum Red Hawk. They're running this as a one-off. I don't particularly like to run one-offs myself. I'm more of a consistency go for it, especially because we don't have a searcher here. But you may rest 3 Dawn if both players have total amount of life is 5 or more. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 5 or less. This is a great way to combat the green-purple Luffy because it says original cost of 5 or less, so you can just snipe a Sanji and putting immediately with it. And then for 1, you can just give your leader 3 power as well. So these new events that are coming out in OP11 having multi-functions are super nice, and it just shows a little bit of power creep here. I'm going to talk more about that a little bit in the future, power creep in general, and how you can slowly start to see the differences of cards evolving, adding more abilities, cards getting fatter with the amount of text that they have on. Like, for example, this Odin has like this much text compared to some of the like earlier cards that we've seen, but I don't think it's in a bad spot. But yeah, that aside, let's get into the gameplay and see how different it fares against that same matchup. Hopefully I can go against the same Luffy. Alrighty then, we have managed to get ourselves a game. They won the dice roll and chose to go first in this matchup. Just looking at some of my options here, we've got a Vista early, which is nice. Turn 1 Vista into turn 2, probably 4 on. It would have been nice to get first here. But we'll keep and just see if we can play through it. I think I might play through with this list. I played in my own time with my other list, and I think it's really, really fun. I actually do think it's quite strong as well, but I haven't actually ever piloted this one yet. So I'm interested to see the differences. So I'm going to add a Dawn to my Nami, and then I'm going to play out the Vista. And they're going to go ahead. We got the Zeus early, which might come up if they play out the 3-cost Zoro Juro. We want to stop them ramping as much as possible. So if we are able to do that in any way, we're going to do that. They swing at us for 6 here. Now we can't stop this with the Hiyori, or we can lead ability here, or even just Vista. I think I'm just going to Vista, honestly. Like, I don't want my life to go down too much. There's the Zoro Jiro, and especially now because we're going to use this Zeus. So we're going to play Zeus, use it, take the top life, and get rid of this, and then we'll draw a card from the Nami. Now we do see a Teach here. I don't really want to get it out just yet. Next turn I don't have any massive plays, so we're just going to swing for 7 at lead. This allows us to have the ability to just lead effect again here. So if you swing 6 at us, we will lead effect. I think I might get rid of this this Luffy if they do. They take it, which is super nice. Now, what's great about us being able to deal with this Zoro Juro super early is it stops them from having a double ramp sometimes. Sometimes now they have Bonclay and they just like immediately get to 8. They swing at us for 8, which is terrifying. And we can stop this, but there's no real need to, so we're just going to take it. This Bonclay is a little bit scary. What we could have done actually is lead affected and 2K'd, and then now Zeused, which in retrospect is probably a misplay from my part, especially now that we have like this awkward situation where we don't have like massive plays and we do want to do that. I don't want to go down super low, honestly, as well, but I really want to deal with this Bonclay. They're going to go to 8 next turn. This is terrifying. First would have been so much nicer as well. So we can, this turn, let's do Teach. And the reason I'm going to say do Teach, and we're going to put just this on top, is to get a little bit of pressure, but also get our hand down. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to Zeus and regret it and draw a card again. And then just swing big and regret it. I have a lot of 2Ks. If they push me to 0, I'm in trouble. But if they don't, then I'm not in trouble. And I'm great. I'm sitting pretty. But if they do, I'm in trouble. But they don't. Yippee! We can just trash the Odin for that. They may play a big body now. There it is. This is the blocker Katakuri. This card is big problem. Very big problem for us. So what's really nice about this Teach now is I can do my full turn. I can play out an Odin, play out this Vista, and then swing with my lead. The problem is now that they have this Katakuri out, they can like start swinging with it and just restand it because of its ability, which is disgusting. Part of me wants to get this kid out, but I think what I'm going to do is just bring out the Odin, Go for like a big shebang at some point. Or I could Luffy. Luffy, teach 7-8. And with the Luffy, I get to bounce my thing back. Let's do that. I kind of wanted to get the Vista out. Ugh. I'm all wishy-washy. Let's do it. Who cares? So we can swing, trash, bounce this back to our hand, and then give it done to Nami. And then now when we do teach effect, Nami's going to also swing for 8. So there's no free blocks here. We get a draw here from the Nami. You would have been stunning earlier, but we move. So we can send a card to the top. We may as well send the rock to the top and then just swing 8 again here. So no free blocks again. We're saying give us a card. The misplay, and don't use the blocker and 1k here. Like I say, is we're not in ranked sim or anything. We are just playing like complete random, so they might also be new to the deck. But what they should have done is just blocked and bonklayed. They gave me a Frano escape for free there. But now it goes to the start of their turn. They get to use their leader ability again here to do some stacking. They draw Sanji a 2k counter, and then they get to place on top. So we might see the 9-cost Sanji come out here with a Lin, and they heal 1. That would be a bit scary for us. What is scary is that I put myself in quite a tough position where I'm like really super low life. I think I should have done that play that I mentioned earlier of protecting one of them so that I could have went into the Zeus, or maybe I just potentially overvalued the like power of the Bond play. We see them do their full shenanigans to go Sanji into Charlotte Lin, and they heal my teach, which is really interesting. I feel like they gave me a bit of a buffer there. I kind of want to just use leader ability here and discard a pudding potentially. So we're going to do that. And then if this swings 8, we can just stop this with a Hiyori. Yep. Draw down. So we do get the red rock, but I think it's potentially too late for any red rock shenanigans. They've left the one open, and if they have the Gum Giant, I am in a tough spot. I hate this Katakuri so much. It's so good. We can just go. So let's go. Let's not remove. Let's try and put them into the position where they need to go for game. I think that's what this deck is really good for. Actually, let's play this first. Use the card action, trash an opponent, and draw a card here. We don't draw anything spectacular, but we can go 6 and 8. They give us a card for the 6, and then we can just play out a Vista and do some praying. Some good old-fashioned praying. We can use this again. It's when attacking, of course. We will do this. And then we could have put a Don extra here, so we could have swung 7. Oh, misplay. But it's okay. They have gear 2, so they protect, and then we play the Vista. But that's super nice because we were able to get another 2k to our hand with the Zeus. I just completely forgot about the Luffy ability, honestly. Like, they start and they draw a Gum Giant, which makes me want to cry a little bit inside. I did discard the Gum Red Rock, but in retrospect, I don't know if that was correct. Lord, if there's a damn another Sanji. We can just leader ability here. The Nojiko and resolve. I doubt they're gonna go for game. Yeah, that's what I thought. I kind of want to keep the pudding in hopes that I can pudding away the Gum Giant. So we're gonna just try protect. They're just gonna go 9, 9 again. We have all the counter to protect this, and then they're going to restand their Katakuri, which is a blocker. They get to restand both, which I forgot. But now we can pudding that away and go big, and hope it's enough. So we can add that back to hand. What's a magic number here? 10? 10? Is it 10? This is happening. So it might be 11-11. Let's try 11-11. Don't need to do a lot. Did they get another Gum Gum Giant? No! Oh, what can you do, right? Like, I tried. Oh, that's so frustrating. So now they're tapped out. I think it might just be 9-8. So let's try and hope they don't have 3k counter. They do! Oh, what can you do? Oh, it is what it is, right? Like, they got their... yeah, that's fine. Shucks, damn. I really thought we had them there. Like, I thought that was like a game where I felt like I was struggling, but like we managed to just like push through a little bit, and but they got there. Fair play to them. Like, it is what it is. You rolled the dice. I went for the cheeky pudding plays. They used the leader ability to get the 9-cost Luffy. They don't need it, and then they draw for turn, which is nuts. Overkill. They overkill. Damn, that sucks. Oh no. We won't. We could play out a Kiki no Joe, but we won't. We'll just let us take us down with these ginormous boards. Look at this, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10 coming right out of my face. I don't think I have enough counter for this, but I'm gonna think super long and hard. No, I'm kidding. And then they'll just swing through. We should have leader ability there, but it didn't matter anyway. We'll hit the GG. Let's see if we can get a rematch here. Oh, nope, they disconnected. And then it does the thing. So I'll be right back. I'm going to try and find a different deck other than Luffy. And this is our last game. We've got Zoro here. I think I'm going to go first against the Zoro. I don't know if that's correct. I really don't. We've got Luffy, Odin. What do I want in this matchup? I'm going to mull just to see. This is way better. Great. Again, we'll just put the Don on Nami for the point of it. I cannot wait, honestly, to play this deck in the IRLs. I actually think this matchup in your mind would be great because you can go to 7k. But if they just go like big bodies, like not big bodies, but like body, you just go. So they played the Nami and they got the good chopper out early. Again, with this video, this one, you'll see that the person who made this deck actually did this matchup and showcased how to play it. I can't remember how they approached it, but they probably didn't approach it the way that I've done so here. They get out, they used the 1-cost event to play out Tony Chopper and then take the damage, and I heal. I draw a card because of the Nami ability, which is nice. And then they play out the Tony Plopper here. Tony Plopper. And then they play out another Tony Plopper, but in super steaded up mode. Now we can just use lead ability here, but honestly, I think just giving a 2k is fine. Maybe even just taking it, honestly. What do I want to do next turn? What do I want to achieve? That's a powerful. Those are words. I kind of want to play out this Kiki no Joe because it's difficult for them to remove it. And then I just want to push face. I remember specifically them pushing face. I'm going to take it. Oh my lord. I didn't realize Cavendish didn't have counter. That terrifies me. I have 8 cards in hand and one of them has counter. I have 9 cards in hand and one of them has counter. I'm still just going to swing 6 at lead here and play out a Kiki no Joe. They hit me with the block, and then there's the Kiki no Joe out. Now the good thing with the Kiki no Joe is if they deal with it, I'm gonna get some life. They're gonna hit me for 7 here. I'm gonna cry a little bit inside. They play out a hiking bear. I'm just gonna take this because there's actually no reason to use lead ability on this one. I may as well take the first and then now have options for this one, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna trash a card from my hand, one of these many Cavendish. No block, and I'll give them a 2k. The problem with giving them the 2k there is that kind of like shows that I'm fighting for my life on these streets, you know. So like, it's not great. But we move. We sure do be moving. Okay, it's actually fine. Honestly, it's not too bad a situation. I think I'm just gonna play these out and then go like 6-7. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go face, because I remember in the video, the man went face. So I'm going to go 2 on lead, 6 lead. He's got no blockers up, so hopefully he takes at least 1, so that if they swing into this Kiki Nojo, I'm going to get a heal. Get a draw from sweet, sweet counter. And then we'll just go 7 lead here. A trigger? Mulgun, maybe? What is this? Honesty Impact. OP11, give up to one of your opponent's characters, minus 4,000 power during this turn, then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. What? Damn! And then trigger KO up 6k or less. So we lost our Cavendish, which makes me want to die a little bit. But it's fine. That's fine. We'll pass. It's fine. This is cool. This is real cool. It's Kobe, right? That's Kobe doing the big punch against the island. Crackhead Island, that's its name, right? That's yeah, you could do that. Shit. I will this time use the card action. We'll get rid of the Odin, no block, and you look at this cool Nojiko. 1 cool Nojiko for you, my dear. Yeah, you could also do that. You shouldn't. I would much prefer if you didn't. But yeah, we'll just give you the Zeus, you know, casual, like, that's fine, mate. She's 6. Swings 5 into Kikunojo. Swings 6 into Kikunojo, which we're going to take. Attacks us for 7, using its effect. We're going to have to take one of these. We still have a block. We may as well block this one. And then they hit us for 7, which we take. Alright, and then they pay 1, and then play a blocker. Yeah, there it is. Alright. I'm always playing kid here, man. Yippee kayak, as they say. Not now, Vista, not now! Darn, man, so many uncounterable cards. 6 life? Maybe it could have been 6 here. They block either way. Oh my god, Vista, please! Vista, no! We've had so many uncounterable cards in this game, it's actually nuts. Yeah, that's not great. So we can just lead ability, trash a Vista, no block, 1k here. I think we should stop what we can now, and then I kind of want to keep this Nojiko though. Like, I mean, I also kind of don't want to lose next turn, so that's quite important. And they have a 7-card hand, which isn't that great. If I take this, I am spaghetti-o'd, so I'm gonna have to give him the Nojiko. I think I'm spaghetti-o'd anyway, honestly. 2 here, 2 here. Oh, fuck. Let me think about this. I'm in trouble. Not another chopper. Please, please. Officer, it's this man. Yeah. I mean, you could do that. I'm gonna hit him with the old razzle dazz. Bam. Boom, bop, bam. Get a draw if it goes through. Please go through. Please. Yes. Yeah. Sweet, sweet counter. Gonna block. This card says blocker. So that's not good. Not good. I'm gonna take the first one. We get a counter. 1 counter is good. We're going to use the effect here, ditching Cavendish, no block, and we'll give a Nami. No block, and we'll give a Teach. Stop! Stop! Does this guy have rush? I think we've lost. This Zoro player has played it well. This is nice to see. I did see some of the comments in the initial video saying that the Zoro had like ways to change their approach in plays. If they didn't have all these blockers up here, I would, pudding, try some things, maybe go for Vista, but they have too much. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm just gonna pass, let them take the win. Let them. But this also showcases what I said before about you thinking that just because like you go to 7 that it's great, but when your opponent has 5 choppers swinging at you for 7 every turn, your hand dwindles if you don't see the perfect stuff. So we'll take the first one. Another Cavendish. I don't like this. No counter makes me cry. Big sad. I have a blocker, so I don't think that's the play. Now I'm going to use leader ability. Okay. Damn. It didn't matter anyway, because he still has 2 blockers, but yeah. Damn. Nearly got him. If it wasn't for those middling kids, all these darn middling doctors. Attacked me for 10,000 power. That's crazy. I think I'll take that. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, that's us. This was BY Nami. BY Nami? No, because it's blue, yellow. UI, they call it, right? It's weird. I don't know. I can't get behind it. Doesn't it roll off your tongue like BY Luffy did? BY Luffy. Anyway, this is the deck. I didn't mind this version. I love my variant. I think there might be some things that I might tweak a little bit. I mentioned them earlier. Don't want to go into too much. I already talked about 1,000 things. Like this carrot's probably going to go. It's a cool idea, but a little bit funky. But I love this deck, and I'm going to play it in OP11. Whether it's the best deck in the format or not, I think it's a sleeper. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully there'll be more videos coming soon. And having a great day. Peace.